Hi, everybody. Welcome into UFO Fantasy Football. I'm Jackson. That's Vin that way. And today we are going to be talking about our black holes, or kind of just players that we think will not finish as high as they're going right now. So if their ADP is like 12, we think they'll finish like 14 or lower, kind of something like that. Yeah.
Good lead-in to
Thank
the
you.
first one.
Yeah. So speaking of going 12, who is your first quarterback?
Yeah, so my QB is Aaron Rodgers. I don't know if this is like an obvious one or not. I see him as like 11 or 12 in some ADP data that I've seen. I have him as like 14 or 15 for my quarterback, which, maybe it's too harsh. Maybe he'll prove me wrong, but I just think the loss of Devonta Adams and replacing him with like nobody but basically, rookie and Sammy Watkins. And I just don't. I think Lazard is going to step up, but I just don't see him becoming like a Devonta Adams type guy. So I think it's going to be a receiver by committee. I think they're going to run the ball more. And I think Aaron Rodgers, I think the Packers are probably still going to win a lot of games. I just don't think he's going to have he had 37 touchdowns last year to 4 picks. And I just don't see him doing that again. I know his stats without Devonta Adams in a short sample is pretty good, but I think over the season, having him out, I think it'll impact his numbers a little bit. So I think he'll be in that like 30 to 33 touchdowns. Like I think he's still going to be solid, but I don't have him as a top 12 quarterback.
Sure. Yeah, neither do I. I think he's like 13 or 14 for me as well.
Yeah.
My quarterback is going to be Dak Prescott, who also he'll probably be fine. He's going as the 7th quarterback right now. I think I have him ranked like 10 or so. He lost Amari Cooper. He lost some offensive linemen. I don't know if they're going to be that great. There's like no talk about the Cowboys, I feel like. And usually there's like always hype on them. They're America's team, right? But like I haven't heard anything about them.
I just heard Jerry Jones say that he's expecting them to make a deep run into the playoffs.
I doubt that. Even in that division, I think the Eagles are going to win, and I don't think the Cowboys will make the playoffs.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah. I really don't.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. He's got CeeDee Lamb, which is fine. He's got Dalton Schultz. He's got Jalen Tolbert, the rookie. Michael Gallup at some point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Might be a while. But yeah, I don't know. I just don't think it's going to be as great as it has been. Like I said, he'll still be fine. He's got Zeke and Pollard to like chunk it down to as well. But I just think there's a lot of other guys that are going to probably finish out a little better.
Okay. That's fair.
Yeah. How about some running backs? Who's your first running back?
My first running back is James Conner, who I think you like a lot. Is that accurate?
I wouldn't say a lot, but I like him.
Yeah. So I think he's okay. Again, this is versus ADP, right? And so he's going as like a RB2, like sometimes a high-end RB2. And
yeah, it depends where you look.
Yeah. Last year, so he only had 750 yards rushing and 375 yards receiving, and he had a total of 18 touchdowns. Jonathan Taylor had 20 touchdowns total. Eckler had 20 touchdowns total. And then everyone else was like in the, Mixon had like 16, and then it dropped off from there. So and Conner had 15 on the ground. And Kyler Murray only had like 3 or 4 rushing touchdowns. And I just don't think that's sustainable. I don't see him getting 15 touchdowns again. It's really my main support for that. Yeah. I do think he signed a 3-year deal with them, which shows that they've got some commitment to him now a little bit more longer term. So Chase Edmonds is gone, which is also a nice little bonus for him. But I think
he'll bring in Darrell Williams though.
Yeah. And they brought in Hollywood Brown. I mean, I know Hopkins is out for the first 6 weeks, I think. I really like Rondale Moore. They've got Ertz. They drafted a rookie tight end. So I think they're going to they just paid Kyler. So, I mean, I think they're definitely going to be maybe even a little bit more focused on the passing game. And I just think maybe Kyler might take away some of those rushing touchdowns, and maybe the opportunity is just not going to be there. So, Conner, I probably see him as more like an RB3. I almost see him like, well, no, okay, I'll go. I'm not going to go too extreme. He's,
I
yeah, go ahead.
I would say low end RB2, but
Yeah.
he's going like kind of middle RB2 range. I've seen some people take him higher, some take him lower. So he's kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I've got Connor as like my 20th running back, so I guess he's a low RB2 for me too. But I've seen him as like 14 or 15 as
Mm-hmm.
as the ADP, and it's just I'm just not taking him there.
Yeah,
with other guys I'd take instead.
yeah, especially with a lot of the receivers going around there, I would definitely take over him as well.
Mm-hmm.
My first running back is going to be Mr. Antonio Gibson. It is not Gibb season. I'm sorry, it's not. J.D. McKissick signed back with the Washington Commanders. Got to get used to that name. After he was going to be a Bill, but then he's like, nah, I'm good. I'll play with Washington instead.
Yeah.
Makes a whole lot of sense. But they also drafted a rookie, Brian Robinson. So it just seems like they are not all in on Gibson. And I don't know. It's just that the team as a whole is not very good. He had some fumbling issues. And he's going as the RB16 in half PPR, according to Fantasy Pros, which is 3 spots above James Conner in the same ADP.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Conner has higher upside because he showed that he can do it last year, right?
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to happen again, but it's in the realm of possibilities where I don't think Antonio Gibson really has RB1 potential at all in this offense.
Really though, because Gibson had like over 1,000 yards rushing last year.
Yeah.
I know. No, I'm not really arguing with that. I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, I think Gibson too was like so highly touted, and there were such high expectations last year that he just didn't really meet. So I think that just kind of leaves a bad taste in your mouth. But
yeah, I guess like I'll list off the top 12 running backs right now, and you tell me who you think Antonio Gibson would outscore. Jonathan Taylor, Austin Eckler, Christian McCaffrey.
Oh, none of them. But wait, where's his ADP?
He's going at 16.
Right.
But I don't think he's got RB1 upside. Like the lower half is DeAndre Swift, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Saquon Barkley. I don't think he's going to outproduce any of them.
Right, me neither.
So I think, and then even like lower, there's Leonard Fournette, David Montgomery, Cam Akers. I just don't see a world where he outproduces any of them. Even Zeke, like just the offense in general is better.
Yeah,
but there's gonna be more opportunities.
Okay, I like it.
I think he's gonna be a low end RB2, and even then, I don't really want to draft him.
Yeah, I don't really want to draft him either.
And that's kind of what it comes down to. I'm just like, like he's there, you could take him, and I just don't want to.
Yeah.
All right, who's your second guy?
My second guy is Damien Harris, who basically my support is the same as Connor. I mean, hit 15 rushing touchdowns last year. And I just don't see that happening again. I mean, so rushing touchdown totals last year, Taylor had 18, Connor had 15, Harris had 15, and then it was Mixon with 13, Eckler with 12, and then 10, and then from there on out. So I mean, that's excessive. I mean, and Harris was solid. I know the Patriots like to run, but I think Ramondre Stevenson's going to take a little bit more of a lead role this year than he did last year. I think it might be a little bit more split, and I just think Harris is just due for regression. I just don't think he can duplicate that. I think a solid season for him would be like 7 or 8 touchdowns on the ground, which would still be pretty good. So, for the amount of carries that he gets and, the type of offense they're in and sharing it with Stevenson and just the unpredictability of Belichick and how he uses the running backs, I'm just out on Harris, this year.
Yeah. If you would get him as an RB4.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. Oh, I would take that. Right.
Yeah. But he's going 25th overall. And that's too close.
Little too high for me.
Yeah.
That's one of those. Yeah, that's one of those ones where, I'll take the cheaper Stevenson every time I have the option.
Yeah.
If Harris is going 25 and Stevenson's like 33, I'll definitely take Stevenson. I think
Yeah.
they'll be very similar numbers.
Yeah. The discount is very, very nice for Stevenson. And I just think Stevenson will eventually take over the backfield. I don't know when, but I think at some point this year it's going to be his.
Yeah.
It's kind of Harris's to lose, and I think he's going to lose it.
Okay.
Spicy take maybe, but I don't really think so. All right, my second running back will be Clyde EdwardsAir, Kansas City Chiefs, and man, I don't want to take any Chief this year. I really don't. I don't know why, but it's just like I just don't think Clyde is that good. He's going as a 27th running back right now. On that offense too, 27th. They signed Ronald Jones, so they know, like, I don't know. I feel like they don't want everything to go to EdwardsAir anyway. I don't think they're very confident in him. I don't think he produced like they wanted him to when they drafted him.
Yeah.
And
I was higher on him initially because there was a lot of target share to go around, with Tyreek leaving. But they signed a bunch of receivers, and then there's I think he's a little injured right now. Yeah, they did sign Ronald Jones. I don't know. Yeah.
I literally just saw on Twitter today that Juju Smith-Schuster said that Sky Moore could play running back sometimes. Just like he's saying he could do it all, whatever, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I don't know. The fact that he said that, kind of interesting. So I don't know. I'm on Clyde. I mean, again, if you can get him at like a decent price, go ahead. But
yeah,
I would take Ronald Jones over him, like for the price.
Wow. Okay.
For the price.
For the price. I gotcha. Okay. I mean, I'm sure Mahomes and Kelsey are going to be fine. I mean, I have Mahomes as my fourth quarterback, so he's not top two that I've seen in some of them. I kind of like Juju as I still think he's I think he's a low risk, where he could outperform that. He's still young, but yeah, we'll see. I don't really like Clyde either.
Yeah. All right, let's pivot to wide receivers. Who was your first guy?
Yeah, I'm going to lump these two together, but it's Metcalf and Lockett. I wish DK Metcalf was just with a real quarterback in a real passing offense, because I think that would be dangerous, and it would just be I would take him all day long. So I don't really think it's a lack of talent. He could still get downfield and make those catches, but I just think it just seems like they're tanking.
Yeah.
They already didn't really throw the ball that much. Russell Wilson's attempts per year is way below your average top tier quarterback in the first place. So they really had to be super efficient to get those balls to Metcalf and Lockett. And so if you've got Drew Lock or whoever's going to be throwing the ball there to these guys, I just think it's going to be kind of a disaster. I mean, I am not drafting Metcalf or Lockett in any leagues. They're just on my do not draft list. I mean, maybe they'll prove me wrong, but I'm not taking that risk at where they're going. I mean, maybe if it's super cheap, I'd consider it. But where those guys are going, there's so many other options.
Yeah, I'm looking at it right now. In half PPR, Michael Pittman is going one spot after DK Metcalf.
God, yeah.
I mean, couldn't fathom not taking Pittman.
It just seems like no upside, I guess is what I'm saying. Yeah. You're basically paying for past performance, and you're just getting downgrades across the board. I mean, yeah. There's just so many guys I'd take over him. So that's why I never find myself with Metcalf on my team or Lockett. Lockett's usually a little bit cheaper, a lot cheaper usually. So if there was one guy I'd end up with, it'd probably be Lockett out of those two, just because if he's there as my fifth or sixth receiver, but I'm not taking Lockett as my third or something like that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm definitely fading Metcalf, but I would take Lockett if I really need a guy and he's there and he's going as 38th wide receiver.
So he's a high end 4. Okay. Yeah. I guess if he's at 4th.
Maybe you could see it. Someone's got to catch the ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. My only thing would be if Garoppolo does end up there, because the 49ers have just come out and said that they are officially going with Lance.
Yeah.
They might cut him. Maybe the Seahawks pick him up. I don't know. I don't know how much that really changes. It could, but.
And I heard the Niners don't want to cut him because they don't want him to go to Seattle.
Yeah.
So they're trying to trade him, outside
Mhm.
of there. But we'll see what happens.
Yeah, my first wide receiver is going to be a spicy take. I am all out on Tyreek Hill.
Mm,
He moved over to the Dolphins. Yeah, he's got Tua throwing to him instead of Patrick Mahomes. He's competing with Waddle and Gesicki, and just that offense in general is not as good as the Chiefs were. And he's going as the 8th wide receiver overall. Uh, I just if he's there, I just don't want to take him. Like we've done a couple mocks, and he's dropped to me on the way back in the second, and I'm like, I don't want to. I can't. Like
yeah.
I would much rather have like Mark Andrews,
Okay.
just
Okay.
positional advantage,
Fair.
or a
That's fair.
decent running back too.
Yeah.
Or I mean, I might even reach for Pittman over him. I mean, that might be a little too
Whoa.
much, but I
Yeah.
think I like Pittman more than him. So
Okay. Wow. Okay.
I
I
think I
mean, I
have
have Hill ranked. I mean, I have Hill. I guess I'm not like overly high on him. He's kind of like it's consistent with his ADP. I guess is where I have him. Like I don't know. It really kind of depends on Tua and how the new head coach there uses them. I mean, just like a lot of variables. He says Tua's more accurate than Mahomes.
that's what he
So.
says.
I mean, there is some targets to go around that he could eat all of them up and then maybe be okay, but they're just Waddle still got to get his. I'm sure Gesicki's going to be involved.
They also signed Cedric Wilson.
Yep, yeah. So I don't know,
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, if you like him worse than ADP, that's what we're talking about here. So I think that's fair. For
Yeah,
sure.
I think he finishes as a wide receiver 2 this year.
Okay, yeah, I can see that.
Which I mean, it's not obviously it's not bad, but where he's going, I don't want to draft a wide receiver 2 right there.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a couple guys, so I might take a second one here as well. I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown for the Detroit Lions. He's going as the wide receiver 26, which isn't bad, but I think he's going to finish probably after 30 or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
He was really good at the end of last year, but that was when DeAndre Swift was hurt, TJ Hawkinson was hurt. They had no other option besides him. So he
Yeah.
just kind of exploded. And this year, those guys are healthy. They signed DJ Chark. They drafted Jameson Williams, who he's hurt right now, but at some point he'll be in play.
If he was healthy, Jameson Williams is probably the best receiver in the whole draft.
Yeah.
So I mean, if he comes back, that's going to be great for Detroit, but not so good for St. Brown.
Yeah. As the wide receiver 26, we were talking about it earlier. Who's going around him? Man, like Cortland Sutton's right after him. I would absolutely take him. Allen Robinson, I would. Gabe Davis, Darnell Mooney. I would take all those guys.
Definitely taking Mooney.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I heard somebody talking highly of Chark as he's going to have like some resurgence, because he had a bad year last year. So
yeah, I'm not fully out on him. I mean, you get him super late, like maybe as a flyer. I would take Chark.
Flyer. Yeah. Okay.
Who is your last?
My last receiver is Mr. Adam Thielen. So I do kind of like the Vikings offense overall this year, but I just think Thielen had some injury issues last year. He's another year older. Last year, I'm trying to pull it up right now. Oh, there we go. I think he had 10 touchdowns last year.
Yep.
Which is the same as Justin Jefferson. But he only had 726 yards receiving. I know he was hurt for a handful of games. I guess I just don't see him getting that touchdown total again. They got KJ Osborne there. I think, with a healthy Dalvin Cook, Irv Smith Jr., I think there's just going to be other options where I just kind of get, a feeling that
hooked on a Thielen.
Yeah, I had to do it. That he's just not going to perform like up to his ADP this year. I mean, I have him as like, I think 38 overall, and he's going at 28 or something like that. So, I mean, that's 10 spots I have him ranked lower than where he's going. So I usually don't end up with him either. Again, it's kind of like that Lockett thing, though. I mean, if he's there for like my fourth receiver, maybe I take him. But His cost, I think, is a little too high for how I like him, because those guys that if the talent is not super obvious and then they had a high touchdown total the previous year, I'm just not going to bet on them duplicating that. That's kind of most of my black holes kind of fall in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I totally agree. Adam Thielen's always kind of been a touchdown dependent player.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just touchdowns are the most inconsistent part of football. So you can't really just count on him doing that every year. As much as you might want to, you can't.
Mm-hmm.
My third receiver is going to be Devonta Smith for the Philadelphia Eagles. Obviously, they just signed AJ Brown to be the alpha there. So Devonta Smith is going literally from wide receiver 1 to 2 on his own team. And Jalen Hurts already, maybe not the best passer, and it's more of a run-first offense anyway. That might change this year. Obviously, I don't know what they're going to do, but that's what
there is zero vacated targets.
Yeah, they just add another player to demand them.
Yeah, they basically just replaced him.
Where is he going? He is going as the 36th wide receiver right now.
I have him ranked 55th. Maybe that's too extreme. I don't know, but I have him 19 spots lower.
I'm looking at the people behind him, and Bateman is 37. That's insane. Fantasy Pros, check your ratings. But Russell Gage.
I hope it stays like that.
Drake London. I don't know. I mean, I couldn't. I don't think I could take Devonta Smith at all this year.
No, I'm not. Which, if you're done, that leads me into my tight end. Yes. Which is the Eagles tight end, Mr. Dallas Goedert, for the exact same reasons. Basically, I mean, there's not that many passing attempts to go around because Jalen Hurts with his running ability, and the Eagles do like to run the ball. I mean, that's kind of like what they do. And Goddard was solid last year, but I mean, with AJ Brown coming into the fold, I just don't think there's enough work to go around to, elevate these guys to like a startable level. Where I have Goddard as my 14th tight end. ADP's got him at 8. So. There's just other guys I like that are a lot cheaper, and I just don't see him finishing as like a top 12 guy this year. So
I could see him finishing as 11 or 12. I don't know about top 8 though.
Yeah,
just because they got rid of Zach Ertz for Dallas Goedert to be the tight end there. But arguing with the AJ Brown thing and just the Eagles in general it's hard to do. Yeah. I'm trying to trade Goddard in my dynasty league right now. So I don't want him.
Yeah, I'm out on. I'm not targeting him at all in any of my leagues. But I think he'll be, he'll probably get like 40 plus receptions, like 600 yards and 5 touchdowns, something like that, but
yeah, I would rather wait and just take him at. That's kind of what it comes down to.
When me and you do our dynasty draft this weekend, I think it's just going to be who's going to take Komet first in like the 9th or 10th or 11th round. We'll see.
I'm going to aim for Schultz if I can get him.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I hope Pitts falls to me in the second
round. And one guy I probably won't target, even though it's going to be tempting in a dynasty league, is Pat Freiermuth for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Hard for me to put a Steeler on this list, but with Trubisky and or Pickett under center, you still got Deontay Johnson, Chase Claypool. They drafted George Pickens and Calvin Austin, and Najee's probably going to get a chunk of targets as well. Freiermuth, I think, is going to be like the 4th option, 5th maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's going to be tough, and I think a lot of his production came from touchdowns as well, and Ben kind of like the hyper target tight end sometimes, like just kind of his old reliable Heath Miller or the new Heath Miller and Pat Freiermuth. It's just kind of, he really relied on Ben and touchdowns, and I just don't think that the new guys are going to give him what he wants to succeed.
Yeah. I mean, he had 60 receptions last year, 500 yards and 7 touchdowns. So, on about 80 targets. So if that, I don't know, right? I'm kind of on board with you. I have him 4 spots below ADP. I think his touchdowns will come down a little bit.
Yeah, he's going as 12 right now, and I don't see him finishing as a tight end 1.
Yeah, with Pittsburgh trying to push the ball down the field more, having some more run pass options with the mobile quarterbacks. It's not going to be just a quick release to a guy that gets 5 yards and turns around like you have for Freiermuth. So I think his usage will be a little bit less without Ben there. So yeah, I'm on board with that.
Yeah, and that is going to do it for our black hole list. There are some other people that we could mention, but that might be for another video.
Who are you teasing here?
Wait and find out. All right. Until next time, thanks for joining us. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed any bit of this. Yeah, until next time. See ya.